Safa s'appelle ses Senyama. Iwa Safa.
Yeah. Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome. Welcome to the broadcast of today. Reaching out to you live from our studio here in ancient Idu. We are back here to do what we know how to do best. To give you the narrative of things the way it should be said, We don't transliterate, we translate what our eye sees and we relate it straight to you, the viewers and the audience out there. Not because we want to do it, but because we love what is going on and the awakening. Oh yeah, the awakening is turbocharged. And that is how it should be. All right. Today's topic is right here. Look at it. Kamakazi mode activated in Francophone Africa. Before we proceed, we are going to give you all a brief rundown, or perhaps the definition of kamakazi. When we say kamakazi, we mean suicide. It's already activated in West Africa, or perhaps the Francophone Africa. The mode is fully operational right now. Fully operational. And there is nothing we can do about it. So the flow has to continue. The man on your screen there, this guy here, is just an animated or cartoon imagery of Captain Ibrahim Traore. The Americans made one crazy comical character. They called him the Captain America that did nothing for America, other than the fact that the Captain America is just a jolly good fellow, and Uncle Tom, a face of deception. But here we have a face of genuine liberation, a face that is selling out the ideology of positivity to every sleeping head in Africa. When we talk about head, we don't talk about the heads of states. We mean the reasonable people of the motherland, right in the motherland and in the diaspora. All right? That is what we talk about. This young man on your screen is a symbol of defiance. He literally defied the West and is changing the dynamics. So, for that reason, we titled today's topic, the Kamakazi mode activated in Francophone Africa, not the Anglophone Africa, because the Anglophones, they are natural born, I won't call them saboteurs, but pussyfoots. That is what they are. Very coward in nature. Very, very coward in nature. So for that reason, they are usually double standard. They play a two-faced role. They sell out their people so easily. And there are people that are meant to stand up are so cowardly that they can't even stand up. Everyone sees it as an opportunity to grab something. That is the problem of the Anglophones. Natural disappointment. The anglicized ones are natural disappointments. To the core. To the core. Because in English-speaking Africa, we have a repetitive and consistent lineage of saboteurs. One saboteur goes, another one comes. Before that one goes, another one that is in the making will come. It's a generational thing in the anglicized side of Africa. So, we decided to take a deep dive into another angle. Number one is the image here, which is an image that should pump up the hype or the reality or the courage of those that inhabit in the motherland. You know, it's difficult for we here, ancient Idu, to always refer to Africa as Africa. We rather call it the motherland because we know that the name is not Africa. And we have stood in defiance to the ideology of the Pan-Africanism because we know where Pan came from. In the occult mystical parlance, we know what Pan symbolizes because Pan is the coded name of Lucifer himself. The West represents Luciferian order, and that is where Luciferian order thrives. So taking up the name Pan, it makes no sense. Pan was created by the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, the late. She was the one that tutelaged Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, and the other two. She was the one. She handpicked this squad of evil men that knows nothing about the African culture and tradition. Kwame Nkrumah had no solid linkage with anything African culture, not even one. Kwame Nkrumah had nothing like that. Not to talk of Marcus Garvey. How will Marcus Garvey know about African culture and morals when he was a product of a slave child in America? How will he know? But they are talking of Pan-Africanism, and yet people are dying for Pan-Africanism just as they died for the term Biafra. We are going somewhere. We are going somewhere. The West and the entire globe has a big problem at their hand. They don't know. The earlier they align and change this posture that they are putting up to be the Alpha and Omega, the better it will be for their so-called humanity, and the better it will be for the seeds of mankind. You know? So we are digging in, and we are going to dig into it. This is just the face of the broadcast. The second one has to do with Traore rejecting Burna Boy. It's just an excerpt or a caption that we got from online sources. Then the third one is Michael Langley apologizing to Traore. Because these videos, they seem to be a bit long, so I'm not going to play it to the full. But whichever way it goes, we don't want to see the 1 hour mark. The third one is Trump. Trump reaching out to Traore. This third one ought to be the fourth one. So let's just say it's the fourth one. Trump reaching out to Traore, and Traore rejecting it. After Traore rejected it, Then the last one, which will ask you to watch to the end, is Trump banning Traore from entering the US. Donald Trump, almighty Trump, bans Traore from going to the US. Like we care about it. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. First and foremost, Trump, are you an American? No. You are a German. Your fathers, they moved over there. So you don't have any right to ban anybody from going to any part of the world. But to make a mark and a lesson, we don't give a damn about America. All we care about is saying the truth the way it should be said. And we must say it to the point that you will respect the dignity of mankind. You have to respect it. Because there is nothing that made you super. You are just a human like any other person. This is a message to the West. Except you people stayed below 9 months in the womb. Yeah, then that will make you people special. Or you people stayed for 16 months in the womb. Then we will know that you people are truly special. We all came through the womb process and everyone spent a total or maximum of 9 months. So I don't see any reason what makes you people feel super important. You have the bomb, you have the latest technology, nuclear weapons and everything, but you can never, ever break the resilience of the human spirit. That is what you should know. Bandits everywhere. Bandits in high places. As the Bible said, spiritual wickedness and rulers of darkness in high places. That is what you people are. Every single one of you. Bandits. You are banning Traore. Don't come to the US. We don't want to say him. Who gives a fuck about that? So let's continue. Yeah, we are moving over to this one on your screen now. Now, that's more of it. That's what it is. It said Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traore, declined the Nigerian star Burna Bandit Boy free concert offer. He said, we are not here for good times. We are here for business. We are here for business. So take your contract, take it to somewhere else. After this one, we'll show you what happened after this one. But first, let's go to Langley. Langley recanting his words. It's a 23 minutes video, but I don't think we're going to play it up to that point. Stop there. We are not going to play it up to that point. We'll just get some little facts out from there, or we'll let it roll. So now, this is Langley recanting his words. I thought Langley said before now that he is a 4-star general of the United States Divided States Army. That he cannot apologize to Traore. They are going to deal with him. They will arrest him. Imagine the effrontery. Imagine the bloody confidence they are having. I challenge Trump and his administration to go to China and arrest Xi Jinping for the Tiananmen Square massacre. I challenge him. And I challenge him also to go to Iran and arrest the Iranian president for the killing of the lady, the 22-year-old girl, Hamza Hamini, for not putting on the hijab. He should go there and arrest. You want to threaten us and keep us bound as eternal slaves. Do you think that such things works? They don't. And we, honestly speaking, we don't give a damn about that. Keep your America. Nobody cares about it. Bandits. Is it the same America that you tested syphilis on black Americans on our own that was taken there through the slave ship? Huh? Is it the same America? We know the crimes of America done to our people, which is a crime against humanity. You are not speaking about that. You have never for once talked about restituting and apologizing for the harm that you did to the Africans. You people were caught pants down in Senegal trying to manipulate their election. Ordinary apology from the United States under Trump. They vowed never to apologize because they are powerful. You people have never ever apologized for the crime that Obama committed, meddling in Nigerians' affair, installing the terrorists going on in Nigeria now. That terrorism that's happening in Nigeria came straight from the White House or the Black House in America. They are the ones that installed Boko Haram in Nigeria. Obama-Biden administration. One phone call was wired against the useless man called Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the president of Nigeria, or the presidiot. He was the presidiot of Nigeria. One phone call from Obama, he left office. All his aide, everyone in the Ebele Jonathan government, they all got citizenship in America today. Omokri is living in America, making mockery of Traore, calling him a dictator, a criminal that he needs to be arrested. A man from Ebele Jonathan's government that never protested the evil or harm done to them by Obama, the same man now gave them citizenship in America. So you betray your motherland, then you go to the diaspora in America to go and live and you start speaking English. A lot of people don't understand my English. They say I'm speaking too fast. What I need you to do is rewind the program and play it slowly, then you get to understand what I'm talking about. That is the way Omokri speaks right now. An idiot that was born in the village, that schooled in the village, grew up there, went to the university there. A man that lived all his life in the village. Today he's saying that the people from his village or Nigerians don't understand his English. A lot of people don't understand my English. They say I speak too fast. I started wondering. Omokri, you became an American citizen. You went to America, you became their citizen. At the age of 50 above, all your life you have lived in a village, a local village in Nigeria. Suddenly, within 2, 3, 5 years, you start speaking like an American. Oh, people don't understand my English. You see, that is why I said the Anglophone Africa is useless. The Francophone have activated a kamakazi mode. It's fully activated now. All Francophone African countries, they are ruthlessly rejecting Western influence. But our own, the youths, more especially in Nigeria. Let's not even talk of South Africa. Nigeria, both male, female, the two genders. Then hermaphrodite, the one that has the two organs. Both demons, everything in Nigeria. They are all saboteurs. Everything, saboteurs. Today we are having their celebrities throwing tantrums on each other or against each other online right now. That is what is going on in Nigeria. Where 1 cup of water, 1 cup or 2 liters of water like this for you to drink in America, in Nigeria. Something like this, flavored water, is sold for over $20 or $50 in Nigeria. 2 liters flavored water like this is sold for over $50 in Nigeria. Then 1 cup of water is sold for more than $5 or $10 in Nigeria today. Today. Instead of the youths to rise up and say, enough of this, they are there fooling themselves. Shameless things. Listen to this video.
was just from a military perspective. That was a Senate Armed Services Committee asking me a direct question. Burkina Faso, a lot of great things going on to progress them forward, okay?
First, the U.S.
Now, you heard what the bandit said. Burkina Faso, a lot of great things going forward to progress them forward. It's no longer, oh, Traore is taking the gold for his personal self to keep himself in office. Now, it's a lot of great things going on. This interview was done in Kenya. You can see the serpent. The black man is an embodiment of evil. Not all of them. But let's put it that way. Those that know that they are true to themselves will rise up and change the narrative. That is what is happening. Right now in Francophone Africa, they heard my message. They heard the message of Ancient Titu and others that are speaking out this way. They're listening. They don't hear English, but somehow, I don't know how they translate the message or whatsoever, but they listen and they know that we are saying the truth. We are voicing out. We don't care if the Anglophone Africa wants to change, but anyone that wants to change, even if your language is Chinese, you will translate this message to your local language to get what we are saying. The Francophones, they don't have time for this English. A lot of great things is going on in Burkina Faso. Francophones don't have time for that rubbish. They said, sovereignty first, and we must be counted as humans. Our own, we speak English. We speak English. When you use present tense in past tense, people will start laughing. But they don't listen to the message. Don't listen to the grammar. Listen to the message of the grammar so that you will get to understand. That is what is called humanity. Listen to it. Bandits everywhere. You went to university, but you know nothing. Listen to this video.
accused Burkina Faso's leader of stealing gold. Then, the same general turned around and called him a visionary. Why did the West go from attacking Captain Ibrahim Traoré to admiring him? What happened behind the scenes that forced a powerful American general to backtrack? Let's find out.
Oh yeah, this Black Africa culture or Black culture diary, they are doing a great job. So I give them the kudos for this, because many of the things that we have to talk about, we get to find out that he did some videos about it. Ours is to deliver the message, in-depth message. And in many cases at times, we might not even have the time to start doing videos. Do you know why? The message doesn't just lie in the video alone, but it lies in the delivery of the message. It lies in the words. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. And when the Word came forth, it became flesh. It was made manifest. So we dig deep into the words so that we can deliver an impactful message to you that could eventually become a moral ideology to you, only if you want to wake up. It says the truth you know shall set you free. It never said the truth shall set you free. This is the right quotation as it is written. For ye shall know the truth, and the truth that you know will set you free. It never said that ye shall know the truth and you shall be free. It says the truth that you know. That's why the moral ideology, the provocative ideology, the incisive ideology that comes from Ancient Titu should be what should wake you up. So we just get one or two glimpses of videos from Black Culture Diary and others, just to put it, to keep you focused, so that you will be able to get the message and dilute it. Here on Ancient Titu, get this, people. We don't care about how you feel. Our message comes hard, and you must pay attention to the hard message. Sometimes it comes with insults, but you must pay attention to the hard message so that you get to know. Because there are some messages that doesn't come delivered easily. Do you know why? Because a lot has gone wrong. And we are here to fix it. Let us continue.
It wasn't an explosion. It wasn't a coup. It wasn't even a leaked cable. All it took was one carefully delivered sentence. General Michael Langley, head of U.S. Africa Command, leaned forward and spoke with the calm assurance of someone who believed he was untouchable. With cameras rolling, Langley stated that Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the transitional president of Burkina Faso, was using the country's nationalized gold reserves to entrench military control rather than uplift the Burkinabe people. It sounded diplomatic, calculated, and rehearsed, but it struck like a slap across the face. There was no proof cited, no context offered, no balancing of perspectives. Just a bold accusation that Traoré was hoarding national wealth for his power. And at that moment, something snapped. Not in Langley, but in Africa. Across the continent, the statement was heard for what it truly was. Not just an attack on one leader, but a reassertion of a colonial worldview. One in which African leaders are scolded like misbehaving children. One in which resource control is only respected when it serves Western markets. One in which African sovereignty is conditional, allowed only when it complies with foreign expectations. But this wasn't 1965. This was 2025. And this time, the backlash came loud, swift, and digital. Within hours, the quote began circulating on social media, translated into French, Arabic, Swahili, and dozens of local dialects. Influencers, journalists, and political activists began picking it apart. Was the gold not...
Yeah. I want to interject here quickly. We are trying to see how we get our messages translated to other countries before we had the system failure and crash of all our settings. We lost most of our softwares and so on. So if anyone has a way or a program that we can use to make translation of these messages to other languages, please do let us know. Inbox us direct. Let us know, because we need to translate it to other languages so that the blacks all over the world, without needing an interpreter, they can get the moral compass of this message. They can get it, they can digest it, and they will know what this message is all about. Let us continue.
Burkina Faso's to control? Was the country not within its sovereign rights to nationalize its resources?
Yeah, one more thing. You see this thing you see on your screen here, this one, this very one, this gold. There is something about this gold. We are going to dig into it. We are just starting. We'll start diving deep into the esoteric and the mystical parts of this message. It is for the restoration of mankind. Then you people will get to understand. It is not about the gold. It has never been about the gold. Let me take your minds back to the flood, the Diluvian era. The flood, the so-called flood that happened. The reason for the flood was that the fallen angels came and they carried out, that is the reptilians, they carried out a specific program which was diluting the human genetic system, DNA experiments. They did it. They created human hybrids and so on. So if you keep talking about, oh, the gold in Africa, everyone is talking about gold standard, you are being misled through another phase of deception. In Nigeria, in the place known as Kaduna and the Congo and some other places, they have an earth resource known as rhodium. I challenge you, research rhodium. Research rhodium. 1 kilogram of rhodium is well over $200,000. One. And yet, in places like Nigeria or the Congo, you have mountains, massive mountains, full of rhodium from the base to the top. rhodium. Why is it that no one is talking of it? Why is it that no one is talking of tantalite? Why is it that they are not hell-bent or crazy about diamonds? Why is it that they are not hell-bent about californium? Nigeria has californium, and I think the Congo and some other places have it. As something that is not even up to 1 kilogram of californium is sold for over $20 or $24 million. One. Why is it that people are not talking about this? Why is it that the world is being misled to talk about gold? You need to wake up now, people. You need to wake up. This is ancient to do. We are of the ancient, and we know what we are talking about here. So, the earlier you wake up, the better it will be for you. Let us continue.
And who was this foreign general to question it, sitting thousands of miles away? Then came the headlines. Not just in Africa, but across the global south. Stories framed Langley's words as another Western attack on African independence. Commentators in Mali, Senegal, Ghana, and the DRC pointed to the long history of foreign interference cloaked in polite language. This, they argued, was the latest insult. What made it even worse? The fact that Burkina Faso had already made headlines in the previous year by expelling foreign military bases, asserting economic control over gold, and pushing for a new regional alliance that rejected Western aid dependency. Captain Traoré had become a symbol, young, confident, military-trained, and unapologetically Pan-African. To insult him was to insult a movement, and the reaction was fierce. In Ouagadougou, young activists held signs reading, "Hands off our gold" and "Langley, who owns Africa?" Demonstrations broke out not just in Burkina Faso, but across borders. In neighboring Mali, artists painted murals of Traoré crushing Western puppets. In Chad, student leaders organized forums dissecting Langley's comments as a case study in neo-colonial rhetoric. Even longtime critics of Traoré, who disagreed with his militarized leadership style, found common ground in rejecting foreign humiliation. The controversy had done something rare. It unified political rivals, at least momentarily, under the shared banner of dignity. But it wasn't just symbolic. Behind the scenes, African diplomats began sending quiet but firm signals to U.S. embassies. Sources say back-channel meetings were held, expressing deep dissatisfaction. A few African ministers even threatened to walk out of scheduled regional security talks unless Langley corrected himself. By the end of the month, the narrative had shifted entirely. Langley, once positioned as a top American expert on Africa, was now the face of Western arrogance. And while U.S. officials scrambled to contain the fallout, Traoré didn't need to say much. His silence spoke volumes. He had already won the narrative war, without lifting a finger. What started as a sentence intended to shame him had instead made him a martyr for the cause of economic independence and African self-rule. Langley had, perhaps unintentionally, poured gasoline on the fire of a growing movement. But behind every public firestorm lies a private calculation.
Why won't Langley accidentally pour fire on a fuel when he's an idiot? He's a man that acts before he thinks. They believe firmly in the media deception, whereby they will come and fool the entire American populace and they will vote them, go and invade another country, kill fathers, kill mothers, displace the land, make children orphans, and create banditry in that area, then rob the land dry. He came with the narrative. Ibrahim Traoré is using the gold to keep himself in office, and he should be arrested. Imagine, he kept a straight. The most heartbreaking situation of that video is the way Langley kept a straight face. You will know that this guy is a professionally trained liar from the astral plane, projected into the realm of mankind. He's not a human. This guy is an exceptional reptilian. He's an exceptional one. He kept a straight face, and even till this moment, he's still lying. That is the most disastrous part of it. How can you explain that, Mr. Langley? From one lie to another. You know, if you tell a lie, you have to tell more lies to cover up a lie. So it becomes a colony of lies. So now suddenly he changed his posture and he said, a lot of great things is going on in Burkina Faso. Who cares about what is going on in Burkina Faso? Mr. Langley, it's too late. We are going to jump into the next one because we are trying to time ourselves. We've gone like the 35 minutes mark. And we still have like 2 more videos to go. And we are going to take this one now. This is one thing that happened after we had this very one fallout, where Traore rejected Burna Boy. You know, America will go through any means to level up. So the American tried this card. Trump administration, he tried this card. What was the name of the card that he tried? Diplomacy. They came with bully. No, they didn't come with bully force. They came with allegations to downsize you morally and panic you. They came with the message of fear mongering. It failed. They came with blackmail. It failed. They came with, so now they want to use soft power. But a lot has happened. We are ancient to do, you know. They use these tactics to eliminate so many of the greats that emanated from the motherland. Patrice Lumumba was also eliminated, even to the more recent time. I keep making mistake with the name of this man of Tanzania, Magufuli or Magafuli. I don't know which one, but you all should know. They took him out and said, oh, coronavirus killed him. The following year, they came out and said, oh, coronavirus could not kill anyone. All deaths that happened during that time wasn't by corona. Then what killed Magufuli? What killed Magufuli? It was the Tanzanian people that killed Magufuli, not the West. Because the West will say, hey, slave, kill your brother. And the slave will kill the brother. You see how sweet it is. Kill your brother. You kill your brother instantly without thinking. That was how the Tanzanians killed Magufuli. But thank God for God being God, the Most High. He brought in a woman. And the woman had learned what went down. And the woman listens to the voice of Dr. Arikana. The voice of, no, not the voice, the deeds of Traore. I wouldn't say the voice of Lumumba, this one that is talking now, Professor. Because that guy is a deceiver. Get this message across to Professor Lumumba. We don't care. Maybe Professor Lumumba is hearing this type of messages lately because he's changing his stance. Carefully. He's pivoting to the side of his people, the Africans. So let's go here. Because he feels that the ship of the West is sinking. So it's time for him to jump ship. Lumumba, we are not against you. You can jump ship if you want to. But jump the ship with truth in your mouth. With truth in your mouth. Stop praising the likes of Hastings Kamuzu Banda that fought for the independence of Malawi and later became the devil of Malawi. Alright? Say the truth about the Lalibela and what is hidden underneath the base of the Lalibela. Lumumba. Stop lying. After Traore rejected this guy, Burna Boy, Trump now forwarded a message to Traore. And Traore rejected the message. The message came from this entity. Alright? So we are going to play it. It's just a brief one. But Traore rejected it. And after Traore rejecting this message, then came the wrath of Trump. And that is where we are going to blow up this message and anchor down from there. So, listen.
27, 2025. A move no one saw coming. Donald Trump sends his messenger to Ouagadougou. Not just any visit, this is a signal. Undersecretary Will Stevens lands in Burkina Faso with one message. We're ready to rebuild with respect. But in that room, Traoré doesn't bow. He stands tall, eyes locked on Stevens, and says, Africa is not your playground. We demand respect. If you won't help us fight terrorism, don't stand in our way. Stevens nods. A handshake. A quiet shift in global power. Langley's insults fade. Burkina Faso's voice rises. This isn't just politics. It's a warning to the world. Africa is no longer silent. Do you believe Trump's move is genuine or just a trick to regain control? May 27, 2025. A move no one saw coming. Donald Trump sends his messenger to Ouagadougou. Not just any visit, this is a signal. Undersecretary Will Stevens lands in Burkina Faso with one message. We're ready to rebuild with respect. But in that room, Traoré doesn't bow. He stands tall, eyes locked on Stevens, and says, Africa is not your playground. We demand respect. If you won't help us fight terrorism, don't stand in our way. Stevens nods. A handshake. A quiet shift in global power. Langley's insults fade. Burkina Faso's voice rises. This isn't just politics. It's a warning to the world. Africa is no longer silent. Do you believe Trump's move is genuine or just a trick to regain control?
Now, this happened on May 27, 2025. Trump sending Stevens to Traoré. You know, Trump is a big boy. Africa is a shithole. He cannot step his expensive shoes, not the feet now. The shoes, the sole of his feet, shoes, cannot touch Africa. Africa is so unclean and very useless. So we will stay where we are and control them. The way they sat at Berlin conference and partitioned Africa. You see that partitioning of Africa? We are going to remove it. We are going to remove it. Okay? And now, let us reintegrate and remodel ourselves in the true nature of the identity of who we are, not in Pan-Africanism. Never. You can send your houseboy, your chief steward, to go and talk to the houseboy. Traoré, we are ready to rebuild with respect. You are mad. You are very, very crazy. You are coming, you are ready to rebuild with respect. How? Burkina Faso people lived under $10 a month. A month. That is the maximum amount of money they have. All their life, they've never had a good reserve until last year or last 2 years. This is the first time they built it, and the only thing Trump administration can say is these people, they have gold reserve, they are taking the gold, the resources and everything. What concerns Trump and the West with the resources in a shithole? What is their business? Now you have met a defiant young man and you want to muscle him down at any cost. Any cost available. America is making a build-up. We know the antics of the devil. They are making a build-up, looking for a palatable way to launch an offensive. But let them know, this has gone beyond a mortal. We are operating in the ethereal meta plane. So, the human spirit is a being that operates in the ethereal meta plane, metaphysical. We have gone beyond that now. One silly mistake, let me use this opportunity to remind the Trump administration and the entire West of what led to the First World War, because these things, these evil people of the West, they are quick to forget. You know, an African adage says, a dog that is bound to destruction can never ever hear or listen to the owner whenever the owner is calling it to come back. They are bound to fall. It will be the biggest power shift that will happen in the field of mankind. One superpower will fall, and they will fall in a very ruthless way. Leave Africa alone. Leave Traore alone. The awakening has already started long before you got into office. Mr. Trump, you were there the first time. You never did anything for Nnamdi Kanu. You were there. You never cared about the freedom. What you cared about was about the resources of Nigeria. Today, Nnamdi Kanu is behind bars. You are not saying anything about it. Every day they behead people, they slaughter people in Africa in name of Islamic insurgency with American weapons, with American funds, under the American Senate. We have the video. I'll play it here in the next one. An American senator said that ISIS is a proxy of the United States. They report and share intelligence with the United States Intelligence Service. ISIS. Now, your headache is Traore. No, Traore is not just the main headache, because a lot of revolutionaries, they will rise from Traore. This is not Bob Marley that you people killed with cancer. Once they see a little light that wants to shine and they cannot corrupt that light, they will eliminate the light. So let Traore be your headache. There are more. There are more. And we thank God for social media, because we socially integrate into the core fabric of any defense system and any firewall, and we'll launch our message there. When we launch our message, it will be lodged in the core fabric of your society, and the ideology and mental state of the people will change. Then they will see you for who you are. Stevens was sent out in disgrace from Burkina Faso. If you cannot help us to stop the terrorists that you people put in our land, do not stand in our way. How many French military officers have been shot down in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, on the side of the insurgents, fighting with them? How many of them? Countless. Countless. Even the one of Côte d'Ivoire. Is it Côte d'Ivoire? Yeah, Côte d'Ivoire. How they sent their military. You see, these people are not even strong. They said they were special forces coming to extract the captured president. They captured them in Togo. This last week in Togo. They want to come and extract Faure Eyadema. Faure Gnassingbé Eyadema. They wanted to extract him, but they were captured. Do you know what the Togolese military intelligence said? They told the French tactical military squad that came when they captured them, this is not 1965. They reminded them of how Sylvanus Olympius was shot dead for $600 by the father of Faure Gnassingbé. That is the main Gnassingbé Eyadema. This is not it. So keep your game to yourself. We have chosen sovereignty over servitude. That is the language now in Francophone West Africa. That is why we call this program the Kamakazi mode activated. They have taken it upon themselves. It's either we die once for our freedom or we forget about it and remain slaves forever. That was the bold message that came from Traore to the man sent by Donald Trump. And that was how it all ended. So this particular one now is what we are going to talk about. This particular one. So that we get to have an understanding of what played out. Let me remove the title from there. It's Trump. He eventually and finally bans Traore from entering the US. A man that never cared about the United States. You invited him to come. He rejected you. Openly, he rejected you. He's going nowhere. He's busy. He told you straight, I am busy. I cannot live here and see you. Trump got offended. From there, they have built all manners of smear allegations against Traore. Up to the point that even Burna Boy, that useless rascal from Nigeria, the girlfriend to Puff Daddy, Burna Boy, girlfriend to Puff Daddy, he now said, oh, we are going to perform concerts for you. We are going, after the Nigerian youths, not the regular Nigerian youths that are struggling, trying to survive, trying to make ends meet, even if they make useless contents, they are genuine to a greater degree. And they are good, but I wouldn't blame them. It's the system that positioned them that way to the Nigerians. Let's be honest here. Let's say the truth. This station to do. So whenever we use a general blanket statement, it doesn't mean that Nigeria never had anything that is good. There are lots of good people there. So we understand that. But in this message, we are not looking at those points for now. So the youths of the Nigeria that we are talking about are the likes of Charlie Boy, a man that is over 70, but he said he's still a boy. All right? Burna Boy, a man that is well over 50, but he's still a boy. Do you understand? Or Mercury, a man that is well over 60, but he's still a youth in Nigeria. These are the people. Even Adeyanju, over 50, he's still a youth in Nigeria. And these are the ones that speaks for the people. They are the ones that speaks for the people. They have all tagged themselves together to discredit Traore, but they failed. If they can say such, now, if Omokri can say such, and Adeyanju, they can say such about Traore. Now, why is Trump trying to cut him and said, okay, come, let's work together? Now, Omokri, have you seen that he that plays the piper dictates the tune? When they send you out like a fool, you go out there to do the job of a fool, they will still disgrace you. The ones that paid you, they didn't even pay you, they just told you, hey, slave, go out there and do this job. Omokri went swiftly and he failed. After Omokri and others failed, then Langley came. They failed. Trump has decided, I ban you from coming to the US. This is silly. Absolutely silly. Listen to it.
It was early morning in Ouagadougou when the alert hit the wires. Breaking, US imposes travel ban on Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traore. No warning, no dialogue, no diplomatic explanation. Washington had made its move. Captain Traore, the young revolutionary leader of the Sahel, was now officially blacklisted from stepping foot on US soil. The news swept through media outlets like wildfire. In Washington, analysts nodded. In Paris, eyebrows raised. In African capitals, jaws dropped. But in Burkina Faso, the people cheered. In the heart of Ouagadougou, young protesters gathered, not in anger, but in celebration. They lifted cardboard signs with bold slogans. If America bans him, he must be doing something right. Traore doesn't need a visa, he has the people. To the West, it was a punishment. To Africans, it was proof that Traore had become too powerful, too independent, too unbreakable for global empires to tolerate. Inside the presidential compound, Traore received the news in silence. Surrounded by his security advisors, he read the memo carefully. No emotion, no fear. Then, he looked up and said calmly, "Good. Now, they've removed all doubt." His aides nodded. "About what, Captain?" Traore turned to the window, watching the rising sun over the capital he had sworn to protect. "That I no longer serve their system, I serve Africa." He didn't call a press conference. He didn't threaten retaliation. He didn't beg for re-entry. Instead, he did something no African leader had done in decades. He smiled, because this wasn't a setback. It was a spark, a moment that would ignite a continent. At a private estate in Florida, far from the cameras and campaign rallies, Donald J. Trump paced furiously across a marble floor. A confidential intelligence memo lay open on the table, stamped with the seal of the U.S. Department of State. Its title, Subject Ibrahim Traoré, Escalating Anti-Western Influence in Africa. Lines had been underlined, words circled in red ink. Rejects Western military presence. Seizing control of strategic gold and uranium mines, advocating total African sovereignty. Trump, now a kingmaker in Republican circles and still wielding massive influence behind closed doors, slammed the report shut and barked at his team. This kid's becoming a symbol. We need to crush that before it spreads. To him, Traoré wasn't just a nuisance. He was a threat to the very structure the US had spent decades building in Africa. Puppet regimes, economic strings, silent compliance. And now, this 30-something captain from Burkina Faso was tearing it all down with a microphone, a rifle, and the will of his people. Trump's inner circle was divided. Some advisors pushed for indirect action, media smear campaigns, freezing aid packages, quiet pressure through ECOWAS, but Trump wanted more. Ban him, block him, make an example out of him. If he thinks he can embarrass us, show him what happens when you defy the West.
Now stop there. Ban him, make an example out of him, show him what happens when you defy the West. You can see that the language these people use is direct and extremely offensive. It's direct and extremely offensive. That means to the educated Africans that likes preaching rubbish, according to the law, the legislator have to move for them to get endorsement from the Senate, for the government to approve this thing and it becomes law. That is the way academically it should be done. That is for the useless African educated idiots. That is for them. You heard Trump's language direct. You see the way they look at you people. He's becoming too powerful. This 30-something will make an example out of it. But I will go back again to the First World War. It was the killing of one man. The killing of just one man. Everywhere broke loose. The war came down. And at the end of that war, one global power was toppled. So if you people don't like to learn history, because this part of the history is something that they have not been able to change completely, as they have changed every other thing, including the religion, the Bible and everything. They changed it over time. But thank God for social media and the technology of these days. A lot of messages will be preserved for the next 10,000 years. And we are sure that this type of messages coming from ancient Idu will even be preserved for more than 20,000 years. Okay? The killing of one man led to the World War. So Trump, you better wake up. Take your rhetorics to China, like we said before. Go and arrest Xi Jinping or any of the Communist Party member, the CCP. Go and arrest them. Tiananmen Square massacre is still there. Go and do it. So it's Africa. Show them what happens to anyone that disrespects the West. Why don't you take your guns to Denmark? I thought you wanted to steal Greenland from Denmark. Take your guns to Denmark and tell them, we are coming to show you what that needs to happen to anyone that says no to America. But when it comes to Africa, we show them. The motherland, there is a dangerous awakening. It's either you align or you'll be removed from the alignment. You want to make an example out of Traoré because he refused to come to America. He now said he's taking gold. You see where these evil people, their mind is? The gold, the resources, the diamond, the uranium. But I thought he said you don't need Africa for anything. You remove 22 African countries, 22. That you don't want to see them in the US anymore. But your military is there, taking the resources, and you don't want to see them. I don't blame them. I don't blame you. I blame them. As you remove visa policies and ban them from America, They should shut down all the US embassies in those countries in Africa. Shut them down. Let everything end. You don't want to see them. Next thing you say, oh, you are bringing prosperity. How about the people that are dying? How about the people that are dying every day? Their life doesn't matter. Then Hillary Clinton. They brought, is it Hillary Clinton? What's the name of that crazy woman? Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton? One out of their two. They now brought, Black Lives Matters movement. You now see blacks. Everybody, blacks, you people are truly black indeed. There's nothing good that comes out from darkness. You people are truly black indeed. You don't know when they use you for political pawns. And it's a disgrace to the highest educated black man on earth. We are not blacks. We are not. We are the melanated ones of ancient Idu. We are not black. So Traore is not a defiance. The ancient ones are back, and an awakening is happening. And humanity must brace up for it.
Within days, the State Department issued the official ban. But what Trump didn't expect was the backlash. Across TikTok, Instagram, and African radio stations, Traore's face became the face of resistance. Street murals in Mali and Niger painted him as a lion standing over a broken US flag. In South Africa, students protested outside the US embassy demanding "Unban Traore," or ban your hypocrisy. Trump had hoped to silence him. Instead, he amplified him. And from his office in Ouagadougou, Traore simply watched the headlines roll in and said, "They fear me not because I'm strong, but because they know others will follow."
It's not because others will follow. There's an awakening going on already. And voices have been coming. And as those voices kept on coming, Traore emanated from the ancestral parts because the ground needed to give birth to him. The birth of Traore happened. The ideology has been birthed longest time ago. So, more is already there, Traore. More is already there. And for every weakling and sellout that is within, they shall be uprooted. Let the weed and the wheat grow together. The time of harvest, one shall become stubble for the fire, and the other one will be kept in the storehouse. The wheat will be kept in the storehouse. The weed will become stubble for fire to keep the house warm during winter.
No drama, no press parade, no angry outburst. When Captain Ibrahim Traore finally addressed the American ban, it was not from behind a row of military generals or in front of waving national flags. It was from a simple wooden desk in a small room with just the Burkinabe flag behind him and a quiet fire in his eyes. The camera rolled. His message was calm, deliberate, and deadly clear. If refusing to hand over our land, our gold, and our people to foreign powers earns me a ban, then I accept it. With dignity. He didn't name Trump. He didn't mention the US directly. But every word cut through the silence like thunder.
Yeah, every word cut through the silence like thunder. And there is another thunder that is coming from ancient Idu. That should be an awakening. Banning Traore, Trump administration, from Trump direct, banning Traore from visiting the US, which you never owned, is just a man trying to put off fire using fuel to put off fire. You want to quench the fire, instead of pouring water with base 2, you pour fuel. It's an escalation. Because even the black Americans are retracing and retracting their steps back to the motherland. So what are you banning Traore for? What are you banning him for? When the blacks there now, they are coming back to the motherland. You can see that even the black Americans there, they are not even that concerned about America no more. You don't even respect them. Till today, You don't. And you can say there, or ban him because others will rise up. You are joking.
Africa is not a playground, and Burkina Faso will not kneel, not to the east, not to the west. We stand even when banned, even when threatened. Within minutes, the video was clipped, subtitled, and blasted across social media. Here Traoré Speaks trended across African Twitter. In Kinshasa, a youth activist wrote, "This is how a real president speaks, not with fear, with fire." In Senegal, a prominent radio host called it, "the Mandela moment of our generation." In Washington, State Department officials fumbled to craft a response. But how do you argue with a man who refuses to play Burkina Faso? School children watched the speech in classrooms. Many teachers paused to explain the meaning of words like sovereignty, self-respect, and empire. "He's banned from America," one child whispered, "but they can't ban his voice." That night, across Ouagadougou, candles were lit in windows, not out of sadness, but solidarity.
Of course, he's banned in America, but you cannot ban his voice. The message will go out. That's why I said, listen to the message, not the messenger.
Traoré hadn't defended himself. He had defended his people, and in doing so, he turned a foreign insult into a national oath. By dawn, it was no longer just Burkina Faso speaking. From Dakar to Dar es Salaam and Antananarivo, thousands gathered outside the US Embassy, not in anger, but in unity. They held up placards that read, "You can ban a man, not a movement." In Niamey, General Chiani addressed his nation in a rare public appearance. He didn't mince words. If Traoré is a threat to imperialism, then we are proud to be threatened too. AES, the Alliance of Sahel States, issued a joint communique within 24 hours. It was defiant, bold, and unapologetic. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. We will not bow. We will not retreat. Even leaders from outside AES echoed the sentiment. In Guinea, Colonel Doumbouya spoke during a military graduation ceremony. They tried to isolate one captain. Instead, they've awakened a generation of warriors. Social media caught fire. Artists across Africa painted murals of Traoré blindfolded, with gold chains being ripped from his wrists. Poets wrote verses that turned the ban into a badge of honor. One went viral. He who is banned by the empire is blessed by his people. In Nairobi, students organized a Ban Me Too campaign, sarcastically asking the US to blacklist for supporting Traoré. But the most stunning moment came in South Africa, at a massive youth summit in Johannesburg. The keynote speaker abandoned his script and simply said, "They fear Traoré because he reminds Africa what freedom sounds like." The room exploded in applause. Suddenly, Traoré was no longer just the president of a small landlocked nation. He was the symbol of a new Africa, bold, unfiltered, and unwilling to bow. It wasn't about visas. It was never about visas. Behind the scenes, far from the cameras and headlines, something deeper, more dangerous had triggered the US ban Ibrahim Traoré. And it all came down to one secret meeting that didn't go the way Washington planned. Sources from within Burkina Faso's transitional government began leaking details. Western diplomat approached Traoré weeks earlier with what they called a strategic partnership proposal. On paper, it looked like cooperation, but underneath, a trap. The offer was simple.
So you see it. The strategic side is what I played earlier. They came, we will strategically, we will build, led by Stevens. But it was rejected. So Trump went mad. I'll ban you, no visa. What is there with the American visa that you have stolen a lot of money from Africans? Every year, people apply for visas, and they all get rejected at the end of the year. Their physical analysis of budget revenue that they gained, it runs into hundreds of millions of dollars from visa rejection. That is another cool way to steal money from us officially. Now, we won't give you visa to come. Because of visa, Reno Omokri, Goodluck Jonathan, and the rest, they sold out Nigeria to Islamic insurgents, banditry. They slice off the head of people, Nigerians, every single day in Nigeria. Because of visa. Omokri is living in the United States now. Because of American visa. They sold out Nigeria. They sold out Nigeria. Only if the Nigerians in the diaspora can open up their mouth and say the truth the way it is, a lot of things will change by stealth.
Allow US forces to build a security base in the northern Sahel. In exchange, Washington would provide support, training, and investment, all vague terms hiding the real objective.
Now, you see, America can be crazy sometimes, right? You know what's going on in Europe? Trump is threatening the EU, the European Union. We can't be supporting you people. You people need to support yourself, fight for your own security. Don't count on us. But now you are coming to Africa. We will support you, we will defend you, we will do everything. Africans will foolishly agree and align to America. Then tomorrow, America will come and say, hey, we have removed our military support. We are not going to support you people anymore until you pay for services. If you don't pay, we'll remove our, and then Africa will start begging America, as Europe did. Europe never did that much. Europe said, okay, we will care for ourselves. Europe revamped, and they activated a particular key against anti-bullying. That is what Europe used to resuscitate themselves. Does Africa have such? You come promising. America is like Lucifer. They will promise you everything, but they don't give nothing. They don't. So it's now that you want to come to Africa, strategic. We'll build. What is strategic? That is how America developed the term called strategic ambiguity. That means strategic emptiness, fraud in broad daylight, fraud. We are not going to do anything, but we just stand as if we want to do something. But meanwhile, we are taking from you. Strategic ambiguity means strategic GPRS, positioning system, to steal. So you are banning it. We ban you from America. No more visa. You are not coming. Have you banned Tinubu from America? You will see Buhari here. The same man that was slaughtering people. You will see Trump shaking Buhari here. Play.
Access to Burkina Faso's untapped gold, uranium, and rare earth minerals. Traoré sat through the pitch in silence. When the American envoy finished, waiting for applause, the young captain leaned forward and asked, "And if I refuse?" The reply was chillingly clear. That wouldn't be advisable. Traoré stood, looked the man in the eye and said, "Burkina Faso is not a mine, it is a nation, and we are not for sale." He walked out, no handshakes, no photo ops, just quiet fury. Within days, the visa ban was announced, a diplomatic knife dressed as procedure, but it didn't silence him. It exposed the game. African investigative journalists confirmed everything. Contracts had been pre-drafted. Maps were drawn. The West wanted the Sahel, and Traoré had slammed the door shut. Western media spun the ban as standard, but in Africa, it was clear. This was economic warfare, and for once a leader had said no. No to exploitation, no to pressure, no to empire. And the people, they didn't mourn the lost visa, they celebrated the return of dignity. As the West tightened its grip, the East began to smile. In Moscow, the Kremlin's intelligence briefings had already flagged Traoré months earlier, not as a threat, but as an opportunity. A young leader, anti-colonial, respected by his people, and now openly defying Washington. The script wrote itself. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov wasted no time. Within 72 hours of the US visa ban, a formal invitation was...
Let's stop it there. Have you seen the guy? That guy on the screen there? That one. That is the Islamic terroristical murderer installed by another Islamic man that masqueraded himself as a Christian called Obama and fooled the black Americans. He fooled them so cheap because he knows that if he tells them what they love, they will fall in love with him. If he preaches the Bible, they will fall in love with him. When the same Bible told Ashanti do test all spirits at all times, that we should be on our guard. But what happened to the blacks? tell them what they love, they go mad and forget themselves. This is the man that is responsible for the killings going on in Nigeria. That is Trump. Shaking hands with him. They never banned him. This is the man that leaked our country, our nation. This is the same man. Look at him there on your screen. But he opened it up for Chevron Texaco, American oil firm, polluting the land, killing people in Nigeria. Trump has never said anything about it. He's focused on the Sahel. America is going to be rich again. We're going to be the richest in the world. Or if you want to come to America, we have a gold card. The gold card is sold for $5 billion. Yeah, dollar, 5 billion. Just talking trash. I'll come to America for American citizenship. I'll pay $5 billion. As if I pay the $5 billion, heaven will open up and I'll see Yeshua. Look at the man that is killing people in Nigeria till this moment. America will not say anything about it. Langley will not see it. They are focused. Focus. We are here. Ancient is here. We will light up the fire. Share this message. I need you to share this message. And while we are looking for this translator, any one of you that gets this video that can translate it to any other language, please do. But send us the link and let's see. Okay? We need this video to be translated in other languages. Look at the man. Look at him. You come out to make an announcement, you ban him from America. Oh, God. You people are undermining us. Don't worry.
Ouagadougou. Captain Traoré is welcome in the Russian Federation at any time under full diplomatic protection. But it didn't stop there. China, ever silent, ever watching, issued its own subtle signal. In Beijing's Global Times newspaper, an op-ed appeared. The West bans voices of freedom. We host them. Behind the scenes, Chinese diplomats reached out quietly with a proposal. Infrastructure development, zero interest. Traoré, never one to chase alliances blindly, responded by helping us because they love us, he said. They're helping us because we've made ourselves unignorable. Still, he knew this moment was leverage, the kind of moment that only comes once in a generation. Soon after, Russian cargo planes landed discreetly in Burkina Faso. They weren't just carrying aid, they brought drones, surveillance tech, and special advisors. China sent engineers, not soldiers. Their aim? To help Burkina Faso build what the West never offered: independent telecommunications, dams, and railroads. In Western capitals, alarms rang louder. Traoré wasn't isolated. He was becoming the bridge between Africa's resistance and the world's multipolar future. And while the US slammed its doors, Russia and China were building him a runway. The set was dramatic. American flags waved gently behind him. The Chiron blazed in bold red. Trump unfiltered, Africa, China, and the new threat. Millions tuned in. And in the middle of a fiery Fox News interview, Donald Trump did what no former US president had dared to do so openly. He declared war, not with missiles, but with words. This guy, Traoré, he's dangerous. He's not just bad for Burkina Faso, he's bad for our influence. He's making Africa think it can survive without us. That's a serious threat. The host blinked, unsure if he'd heard correctly, but Trump kept going. He kicked out the French, he's making deals with Russia, and now he wants to unite Africa. We need to shut that down before others follow. The studio fell silent. In Washington, some clapped. In Brussels, many whispered. But in Africa, the continent exploded. Within hours, clips of the interview went viral. In Lagos, Nigerian students marched with signs that read, "If Traoré is a threat, then Africa is a threat." In Accra, a professor at the University of Ghana tweeted, "Trump just admitted what we always knew. Africa's freedom terrifies them." Traoré didn't respond immediately. He didn't need to, because across the continent the people responded for him. Artists drew political cartoons of Trump chasing Traoré with broken chains. Memes flooded Instagram. Feared by empires, followed by nations. If Trump hates him, he must be doing something right. Burkina Faso's streets were calm, but electric. The people knew this was bigger than one man. It was now a global symbol, a leader of the South, hated by those who had once ruled the world. And when Traoré finally spoke, it was simple. If truth is now considered a threat, then I promise we will become more dangerous than ever. While Western powers plotted and pundits raged, Captain Ibrahim Traoré didn't flinch. Instead of backing down, he doubled down, with a bold new announcement that would shake the very foundations of African geopolitics. We are building a new Sahel Defense Alliance. No foreign bases, no foreign funding, just Africans protecting Africa. The crowd in Ouagadougou roared. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso had already formed the AES, the Alliance of Sahel States. But this was the beginning of a Pan-African military doctrine. No more waiting for French airstrikes. No more begging for American weapons. No more dependence. Instead, Traoré unveiled the Sahel Sovereign Security Program, a blueprint for joint defense manufacturing, cross-border intelligence sharing, and elite counter-terrorism training built by Africans for Africans. Satellite images showed ground being cleared for a new training facility outside Kaya. Rumors swirled that instructors from Russia, Iran, and even Venezuela were on standby to assist, but under strict conditions, no permanent presence, no strings attached. His goal was clear. Africa will no longer be the battlefield of foreign powers. It will be the guardian of its own future. International media mocked him, naive, radical, dangerous. But back home, his approval soared. Farmers, teachers, soldiers, miners. They didn't need polished policy papers. They felt it in their bones. For the first time in decades, someone was building security from the ground up. Even outside AES, whispers spread. Chad, Guinea, Central African Republic. Their leaders sent quiet envoys to Ouagadougou, asking, "How do we join?" Traoré didn't respond with fanfare. He didn't seek applause. He just kept moving. One brick at a time, he was laying the foundation for something no one had dared attempt since Kwame Nkrumah, a truly sovereign, united, and unshakable African defense. And every time the West tried to slow him down, he built faster. Washington was losing patience. The more Traoré spoke, the more the alliance of Sahel states, AES, hardened. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger were no longer rogue states. They were becoming a movement. Behind closed doors, US diplomats launched a counter-offensive, not with bombs, but with briefcases. They flew into West African capitals armed with promises, relief packages for food and fuel shortages, investment deals tied to governance improvements, private offers to select AE.
Stop. You see that Africans, according to Che Guevara said that a black man cannot think above his stomach. He prefers food than his freedom. You see the husband of Harriet Tubman. He was another house Negro. He preferred food and the wanton foolishness of life in a lustful manner than his freedom. That is why Western diplomats can fly into Africa with briefcases, promising them food. F-O-O-D, food. When you remove the D at the end of the food and put the L, it becomes a fool. That is what these African leaders are. Very foolish things. Very foolish. Unapologetically. This is ancient to do. We don't give a damn about how you feel. How can diplomats come to your country and promise you food when the farmland is right in front of your house? When the resources to feed yourself is right in front of you? A foreigner will come and promise you, I will feed you from your home, and you sell yourself out. That is foolishness. Mad people everywhere. Mad. Imagine, what an insult. Can Western diplomats fly to any of the Asian countries to promise them food? Is it done? Even Indonesia, even Vietnam. Can they go there and promise them food? It's only, oh, we give you food, we give you visa. Come to America and have the American lifestyle and do boogie boogie. Then you go, you see them, hey, America, America, America. They dance in America because they are idiots. Idiots love to dance. Mad people everywhere. This is the worst insult of all. Diplomats coming with suitcases. We are going to give you food. I have 1,000 hectares of farmland. And you come from America, you want to give me food inside my own farmland. Are you mad? Are you crazy? The Africans accepted. And they go to the camera to smile and make handshakes. Stand up as a man and be counted, or die on your knee as a slave.
AES members, break away quietly and you'll be rewarded. The goal was simple: fracture the AES from within. In Bamako, Mali, a senior AES official received one such offer from a Western emissary. He listened, nodded politely, then handed the man a sealed envelope. Inside, a note with just 4 words: "We're not for sale." The emissary left within the hour, but Washington didn't stop there. Sanctions were quietly prepared. ECOWAS leaders were pressured to expel AES members from regional economic agreements. Media channels received coordinated talking points. AES will collapse. Traoré is isolated. West Africa needs Western help. But reality told a different story. Traoré, Goïta and Chiani released a joint televised address. 3 leaders, side by side, wearing fatigues, their tone firm and measured. Africa is not a chessboard, we are not pawns, and no foreign capital will decide our fate. The image went viral. In the streets of Niamey and Ouagadougou, citizens chanted, "AES unbreakable, Traoré untouchable." And then, the AES dropped its counterpunch. A new regional currency agreement. Joint resource sharing on uranium and gold. A digital communication platform, AES Connect, to bypass Western-controlled media. Washington had tried to divide them, but in trying to break the alliance, they'd only strengthened it. They tried to isolate him. They thought banning Captain Ibrahim Traoré from the United States would bury his influence under silence, but instead, they built him a throne. Across Africa, his image became legend. Street murals in Dakar depicted him with a lion's mane. In Soweto, children wore shirts that read, "Banned in the West, born for Africa." In universities from Nairobi to Kinshasa, entire seminars began asking one question: what if Traoré's model is the future of post-colonial leadership? He wasn't just a president anymore. He was a symbol of resistance, of dignity, of a new dawn. Even African diaspora communities in Paris, Brussels, and New York started organizing screenings of his speeches, subtitled, studied, and shared. He was the subject of podcasts, documentaries, hip-hop lyrics. The irony? The US ban that was meant to erase him from the global stage had made him impossible to ignore. And through it all, Traoré stayed grounded. In one rare moment captured by a local filmmaker, he was seen walking alone through a dusty neighborhood in Ouagadougou, stopping to speak with youth repairing radios under a mango tree. One of them asked nervously, "Captain, what if they come for you next?" He smiled. "Then let them come, but they'll find out I'm not alone." Because now, it wasn't just Burkina Faso behind him. It was the entire Pan-African youth, the working class, the dreamers, the believers. Those who had long whispered about change, now speaking with full voice. They saw in him a leader.
So, now let's stop it here. And with this, we have come penultimately to the end of today's broadcast. And when we talk about Pan-African youths being in support of Traoré, this is just the final one, a valedictory speech. It's not all, because another covert coward is busy growing up in South Africa. Even though I tend to love their spirit, but when they stand to sabotage you, they do it in a very shameless way. One of their popular influencers said, America will take down Traore, and nothing Africa can do about it. So for that reason, I give disrespect to them. For that social media influencer that said that South Africans should rally around, fish him out, and force him to apologize. Because if they don't, Ancient Idu will keep thrashing, and we'll keep doing that. All right, from here, from us in the studio, we say bye-bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Easy.